Okay. Hello everyone. Namaste. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Gita study session. We are in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We completed 9 chapters and we started 10th chapter and we did up to 5 verses. And from today and in this session, we'll start from verse number 6 onwards. This 10th chapter is coming from the Bhakti Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. In the first 6 chapters, Krishna spoke about Karma Yoga. In the second half of Bhagavad Gita, from the chapter 7 to 12, Krishna spoke about Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters, Krishna goes into all the subject matters in detail, give detailed explanations. So for Arjuna to get ready and do his duty, Krishna spoke Karma Yoga. But he was not ready. Krishna said, just by the practice of Karma Yoga, you can attain liberation. And to attain liberation, there are 2 paths. There is a path of Ashtanga Yoga or the path of Bhakti Yoga. The path of Ashtanga Yoga, where one has to renounce the world, one has to take up the practice of meditation, intense meditation, yama, niyama, the various process of Ashtanga Yoga. One has to have eat a good diet, and one has to live in a secluded place and bring his consciousness onto the in between 2 eyebrows and on the top of the head and continuously meditate on the self. Meditate on the self. If a person does so for longer times, maybe from the past life impressions, it is guaranteed one can attain self-realization. And after attaining self-realization, he also realizes that there is also one absolute truth, that is Bhagwan, God. And he again meditates on the God to attain God realization. But the path of Ashtanga Yoga is so hard to understand, hard to practice. It is practically impossible in this age of Kali Yuga. You don't see anybody practicing this so-called Ashtanga Yoga. They are practicing only the 1%, 2% of it, just to control the mind and senses. But nobody is practicing Ashtanga Yoga to attain liberation. We can go and ask the person, will you attain liberation just by meditating on yourself? They have no idea. Just for the sake of meditating, they're meditating, right? So Krishna is saying here, for a person to attain liberation, he can take the path of Ashtanga Yoga and go through the process. And Arjuna himself says that is hard and impossible for him. Then Krishna spoke about Bhakti Yoga. It is for Arjuna and for everybody in this age of Kali Yuga, because we are not good at mind control. We are weak at controlling the mind. We are weak at controlling the senses. What Krishna is teaching us to not to renounce the world, but be in the world, direct our consciousness. Be in the world, enjoy the world in connection with the God to attain the God. That is a practice of Bhakti Yoga. One can have all opulences, all the wealth, all the riches. At the same time, be detached, renounced. And a person being engaged in all kinds of duties, he can practice the Bhakti Yoga, bringing God in his life and meditating on the God, seeing everything in connection with the God. In the 9th chapter, Krishna ends by saying this, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasipte atmanamat paranama. Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, always be devoted towards me. Always worship me, always offer obeisances to me, be in my consciousness, then it is guaranteed you will attain me. So one might have this question, I am doing I mean, I can meditate on you for maybe 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the night, but I'm engaged in many, many things. How can I think about you, God? How can I think about you, Krishna? Can you tell me some practical tips? And that is also then Krishna teaches this. Krishna goes into this Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means opulences, where Krishna teaches whatever you see in this world, whatever the attractive things you see in this world, it is because of Krishna. It is because of God. Okay, so that is also the takeaway message. What is the takeaway message from chapter 10? The takeaway message from chapter 10 is us, soul, or we get connected to the God, Supreme Lord, being in this world. Soul is naturally attracted to many, many attractive things in this world. Right? There are so many attractive things in this world. Maybe soul get attracted to a cricket player who plays nice cricket. Hmm? So then soul, the person, always thinks about that cricket player, always meditates on the cricket player. He watches all the YouTube videos of the cricket player. He tries to know more about the lifestyle of the cricket player. Huh? That's how he's getting. He started with an interest, but he's getting attached to the cricket player. Likewise, there are many, many things in this world. People may get attached to a politician, always thinking about meditating about politician, or are getting attached to things, a property, a wealth, or anything. Krishna says, you do that, but have a vision. Have a vision. If a cricket player is so attractive with all his attractive cricket skills or humility skills, what are the skills, humanitarian skills? It is because of Krishna. The point here is the takeaway message is we appreciate the cricket player, but at the same time, we see it is because of God. We appreciate the God, Krishna. We bring Krishna in the consciousness and we appreciate Krishna. Okay? Not get attached to the cricket player, but attached to Krishna. Right? So any attractive things in this world, the idea is not to get attached to this material world. The thing is, if a person gets attached to the material world, he will never come out of this material world. He'll develop desires, more and more desires, get entangled into this repeated cycle of birth and death. Right? So for the soul to come out of this consciousness, Krishna spoke this Vibhuti Yoga, where Krishna teaches that whatever you see, whatever the attractive things you see in this world are attractive because of Krishna. It is God, because of God. Hmm? The whole idea is to get connected to Krishna, seeing God in everyone, everything, and appreciate the God and love the God. The point is, if you don't get attached to the God, if you don't see God, we'll get attached to the material things, a cricket player, or things, and will never be detached. And moreover, either we will be envious of, either will be attached, or will be envious, or will be hate, or will hate. If you like so the I take the example of cricket player. If you like the cricket player, you will get attached to the cricket player. And so maybe will be envious of that. Why not me? I'm so great. Mm. If a person has unique skill, why not me? Right? Either we uh, get envious, or we hate. I hate that person because he's so skillful, right? So for us to come out of all these things, come out of this, repeated cycle of birth and death, come out of this attachment towards the material things, Krishna teaches Vibhuti Yoga. The takeaway message is, again, I'm repeating again, the takeaway message is seeing everything in connection with the God and appreciate the God and love God. The whole purpose is for the soul to come out of this, uh, bring God in his consciousness and love God and get attached to the God. This is the thing, soul to get attached to the God while living in this world. Such a soul is called a Nitya Sannyasi. He's considered renunciate because he's not attached to anything. He's only attached to God. So that is a takeaway message from here. Okay, so coming to this chapter, I already gave an overview in the previous session, so I'll not give an overview, but I know.
Savij, one question.
Yeah.
In the physical world, the vibhuti means like the ashes, right? Holy ashes. Are ashes like is there any connection between that word and this word?
So in Sanskrit, there are many meanings to the same word, okay?
Okay.
That is vibhuti, I think that is vibhuti.
Yeah, yeah.
Ashes, like vibhuti, the. This
Okay.
vibhuti. This is different. Opulent, vibhuti means opulence,
Okay.
opulence, right? Any attractive thing. It could be a skill or any object or anything. Or
Got
leadership abilities or ability. If a person has good leadership abilities, that's his vibhuti. Krishna is saying that's God's vibhutis.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Got you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. There is another similar word for this vibhuti. That is like ashes people put on head and all. Yeah, it's nowhere related. Totally different. Krishna wouldn't spend whole 10th chapter just to speak that, right? But yeah, it's nowhere related. So I give an overview, but I'll give like what we covered in the first 6 chapters. So Krishna says again, like Arjuna, Shrunume paramam vacha. I'm going to tell you most wonderful thing. Krishna spoke already secret knowledge in the 9th chapter, and Krishna is saying, I'll give you more wonderful knowledge. You'll be astonished knowing about me and my opulences. And my opulences, no one can clearly understand. The gods, the demigods cannot really understand. The great sages, the gnanis cannot really understand. And Krishna is saying, I will tell that to you now. And Krishna starts speaking, and the first thing he says is, he is the origin of all the qualities. Is vibhutis, again, Krishna's vibhutis, right? Intelligence. Intelligence is also God's vibhuti. If a person has we see a person has highly intellectual skills, right? He can do math just like that on his mind. Human calculator, right? That ability for a person to do that thing is also coming from the God. One may question why God choose that person, not me. Right? Right? So the intellectual ability is God, coming from the God. Why God is selecting? Because individuals desire. That person has a desire to be like that. He practiced and he is able to do calculate like a calculator. Right? So that ability is coming from Krishna. That's Krishna intelligence. Intelligence is Krishna's vibhuti. We also have that vibhuti, intelligence, in a different level. So it is based on individuals' habits, practices, desires, and so on. So the so-called intelligence, it could be higher intelligence or lower intelligence. Everything is coming from God. God, that's it. And the happiness, the emotions, Krishna is going into these emotions. The emotion of being happy or happiness on experiences, it is also coming from Krishna. The happiness, the element of happiness is Krishna. Fearlessness, being fearless is also from the God. If a person is fearful, what about that? That is also coming from the God. All these emotions are coming from the God. There is nothing but God is the one who is supplying all these things, right? All these things for a person to function. For a human being to function, the human being needs all these emotions: intelligence, happiness, fearlessness. There are wide varieties of emotions. Krishna gives a 20 list, but it's unlimited list. Unlimited list. It is because of God. It is because of God. Krishna is saying here, it is because of God only. I am able to function. You are able to function. Everybody is able to function. right? Function with different emotions or function with different intellectual skills or anyway. Okay, so I'll not give full overview now, but we'll start from this verse number 6. Okay, from here on, this is also in connection with previous verse, but I'll ask someone to recite this verse and we'll see explanation.
Text 6. Krishna is the origin of all living beings. Maharisheha sapta purve chatvaro manavastata mat bhava manasa jata yesham loka imaha prajaha. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them.
Thank you, bro.
So,
So in previous verse, Krishna said all the qualities, all the emotions one can experience, those are all emanating, those are all like energies of the God. One can like intelligence or any emotion, happiness, fearlessness, right? It's all coming from the God, nothing but the God. Right? So Krishna goes a little further, giving more explanation. Not just that, not just that. Even if you see this entire creation is also coming from the God, is God's will. Everything is created, everything is functioning. Okay, so we'll go little detail into this. Krishna's vibhutis here, the vibhuti is the creating power. The creating power. By his willpower, God can create entire everything, right? So here, this context here, God through Lord Brahma has created his entire cosmic existence, cosmic manifestation. Okay, so Krishna is talking about great sages. Who are those sages? What Krishna is saying, the great sages, the Manus, everyone and everything came from the God, born from the mind of the God, from my mind, right? Krishna is saying my mind from the God, and also all the living beings populated through them, through these sages, entire living beings populated, right? So it's like one cause and subsequent cause. It's all God. It's all coming from the Krishna only. Okay. So let's talk about creation. I'll go a little detail and you will get some good understanding on this, what Krishna is saying here. So the takeaway message from this is, it is Krishna through God Brahma creating, or through 7 sages or through Manus. It is God only through them has populated whole universe. It is God's will. By his willpower, through them, he did all this. Right? If Lord Brahma is able to function and do the things, it is because of God only. It's God's vibhuti. Okay, vibhuti. We need to, throughout this chapter, we need to see one thing: vibhuti, God's vibhuti. So in the entire cosmic existence, if you see, I spoke about this before also, there is a spiritual realm and there is a material realm. Spiritual realm is eternal, never goes through creation or destruction. And the souls who go there, who live there, who are currently living there, they are eternal. They don't come into this material world, right? So there is a material realm. There is a material realm, right? Here there is a creation, destruction. It happens in a cyclic way, again and again, continue again and again, again and again. So the material realm we are talking about, and many universes. It's not just one universe, many universes. Our Vedas, scriptures say, intercosmic existence is a multiverse, not one universe. Science also says this. Science also says the same fact, that the cosmic existence is multiverse. There are many universes, not just one universe. That perfectly aligns with our Vedic scriptures. The message of science, right? So if you take one universe, this bubble which emanated from the God, This lasts for 311 trillion years. 311 trillion years. Our life cycle is just 100 years, right? So we are talking about 311 trillion years. This universe will last. And the souls will go through this various planetary systems and repeated cycle of birth and death again and again and come and go. So that is a material realm. In the beginning of creation, now we are coming to the point why Krishna spoke about sages. How Brahma functions, creates everything, right? So we'll see that. So in the material realm, there are two aspects of creation. If you talk about creation, one is Samasti Srishti and Veshti Srishti, Sarga Visarga, other words, right? So the primary creation is done by Lord, where he, through him, where he creates all the primary elements like earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so on. So there are 24 elements he creates. And three modes: mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, and the combination of these elements, various total 24 elements get produced. Satvika Ankara, Rajas Ankara, Tamas Ankara, various 24 elements get produced. All the ingredients are ready now. It is given to Lord Brahma. Now Brahma does the secondary creation. Um, and also the Lord enters into this each and every universe. You can see in this picture, right? God residing here. So God enters into each and every universe. And in every universe, there is Brahma, Lord Brahma. In every universe, there is Lord Brahma. It is very vividly given in Srimad Bhagavatam, the text called Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is very detailed. Thousands of verses. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about 700 verses, right? And if you want more detailed knowledge, we can refer to Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra, if you know the terms. So it's a natural commentary. It has more details. It's a comprehensive knowledge, right? So it is in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is given very nicely how Lord Vishnu does the primary creation, and Brahma takes care of secondary creation. Okay, and when the creation is happening, the first human or humans get manifested is the four living beings. So we can say Brahma is also one human being, living entity, which who emanated from the Narayana, Vishnu himself, and from Lord Brahma. These four people get manifest. These four personalities, they're called Kumaras, four Kumaras, well known as four Kumaras: Sanak, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. These four Kumaras. So they get manifested, and Lord Brahma says, now you go and populate the universe. And these four Kumaras says, sorry, sorry, we are not so interested in progenation or creating universe. We are interested in spiritual subject matters. We are interested in preaching or practicing science of self-realization or bhakti yoga. We are not so interested in material things, right? So that's how these four Kumaras, they're not into the creation process. Then Brahma got furious. After that, various living beings manifested. I'll skip that part. But the next thing is Brahma again sits and meditates. Then after that, seven sages will appear. Seven sages. Okay. So who are those seven sages? These are the seven sages. The seven sages, we can see the names here: Marichi, Atri, Angiras, Pulasya, Pulaha, Pradhi, Vasishta. So all these seven sages, through them, entire universe is populated. Okay. And through them only the Manus also, like in the day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, right? So they come and go. So we are in the seventh Manvantara. So likewise, many more Manus to come in our Kali Yuga. So that's so many technical things. If you don't know, it's okay. what I'm speaking. But the 4 Kumaras get manifested, and there are different interpretations of the same shloka. Some acharyas have given like 4 Kumaras, and some other have given like 4 Manus, and 14 Manus. It's okay. I mean, no big difference there. The acharyas who have given 4 Manus, they said like it is these 4 Manus: Brahma Shravani, Rudra Shravani, Savarni, and Dharma Savarni, Daksha Savarni. The 4 Manus. Okay. And the acharyas who said about the 14, some acharyas also said 14 Manus, 14 Kumaras. It's okay. The point here is all the 7 sages and all the Manus, they are the progenitors of the whole universe. And when they come into existence, these are the tasks, to-do list. We say, right? If someone is working, there has to have a to-do list, what to do, right? So Brahma gives this to-do list. Guys, you guys go and do this. Brahma says, you assist in creation, you progenate, help progeniting, spreading, right? And spreading and preservation of Vedas, Vedic knowledge. If you see here, from the Brahma, all the Vedas get manifest. It is from Brahma, all the Vedas get manifested. Is Brahma the origin of Vedas? Answer is no. It is Supreme Lord. Then why from Brahma? Again, this is a Vibhutis. This is the point. Vibhutis, Krishna's Vibhuti. It is Krishna, God, through Brahma, had brought entire Vedas into existence. If Brahma is functioning like Brahma, it is because of the Supreme Lord, Narayana, or Krishna. That is a point. That is a Vibhuti. That's why Krishna spoke this. That is the main important point. Okay. So all the Vedas manifest from Lord Brahma. So let's talk about Vedas, right? I know I spoke about it, but if you see the practitioners of Christianity, they have a book, right? It's called Bible. All their practices, all their faith or their practices is based on the literature called Bible. For Islam, the practitioners of Muslim or Islam, what is the religious book which helps them to learn all about their faith and practices? It is Quran. Then what about us? People call us Hindus. What about us? We are not Hindus. We are the practitioners of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma. It's a way of life, in other words. Here, Sanatana Dharma, the authority, just like for Christians, authority is Bible, right? Authority is Bible. For Sanatana Dharma, the practitioners of Sanatana Dharma, the authority is Vedas. Vedas are ultimate authority. So what is in Vedas? Vedas is not like Bible or Quran where they have faith, a faith-based one. Vedas is like all-encompassing for all kinds of people. Example, if a person is wants to live a life of enjoyment, he just want to earn money, enjoy life, and have fun in his life. Or Vedas says, no problem, do it. No problem, do it. But do in a dharmic way, not like an animalistic way, but do in a really dharmic way. I was about to say religious way, but not even religious way, in a dharmic way, as given in the scriptures. One has to earn money in a rightful way. One has to do charity also, right? It purifies the soul. Like this, there are so many Dharma Shastra rules and regulations. One has to live in a dharmic way. He can enjoy his life, no problem. If he's not interested in God, if he's not interested in self-realization, no problem. There is a section called Karma Kanda section in the Vedas. They all talk about that. If a person is not into, if a person wants to come out of this but he doesn't believe in the God. He wants to be atheist. It's okay, right? He can be, and there are some scriptures for that. And if a person is interested in God, or if a person is interested in moksha, liberation, he wants to come out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. If a person really has this interest, right? So there are some scriptures. There are Gnana Khanda section of Vedas. They primarily deal with self-realization, God realization. For a person wants self-realization, again, it's a different branches, right? So Brahman realization and Bhagavan realization, there are different branches. So if you see Sanatana Dharma, the scriptures of Sanatana Dharma is all encompassing for all kinds of people, all kinds of mindset. Depends on individual interest, individual growth, however he wants to be. If a person wants to be interested in God, self-realization through the practice of Bhakti Yoga, yes, this is the way, right? So it's all encompassing knowledge for everybody, any walk of life. He can take up and he can live a life according to that. So it's not faith-based religion, faith-based knowledge, right? It's not like if you believe in God, you go to heaven. If you don't believe in God, you go to hell and burn in the hellfire forever. That may be right, okay? In a different context, I agree that, I accept that. That is good in one sense. But if we say our Sanatana Dharma, Vedic literatures are not that. It's not a religion. That's the point I want to make. Sanatana Dharma, Vedic scriptures is not for a religion. It's a way of life and various practices for different levels of people. That's the beauty of Sanatana Dharma, which you don't see in any other religions. So because ours is not Sanatana Dharma, it's not a religion. Okay. So spreading and preservation of Vedas, Vedic literatures, Vedic knowledge, study of Vedic knowledge, it's a 15 years course, right? So many things. One could spend 100 years to learn it. It's so deep, so deep. Krishna has extracted all the Vedic literatures and given these 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, anyway, so that is another task for these sages, and also they have to establish and maintain the dharma. They have to show the path for others to follow, and also guide them spiritually. If a person is interested in spirituality, all these sages will guide them, right? I mean, not just this, their descendants also. And also they have the purpose to guide to kings and society, and they also have to perform yajnas, all the rituals. It's all part of Vedic culture. Okay, so if you see this is from the Bhagavatam, we can see all the personalities who have existed before from the origin are very nicely documented in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, from the Supreme Lord Vishnu, the Brahma manifested. From Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu, all the 7 sages, the Atri, Marichi, we all read, right? All the names. You can see this, how they progenited the entire universe. How they progenited the entire universe is very nicely documented. Very nicely documented. That's the beauty of our Sanatana Dharma, right? So it is done by Veda Vyasa and his disciples. Yes, done is very nicely documented. So Veda Vyasa does this every time. So in certain period, when all the documentation is gone, he puts the documentation into existence. He's nothing but God himself in other incarnation. Okay, so we can see like from the Swayambhuva Manu, all the names of the dynasties and whom they married to, how many children they begot, and how the various dynasties existed. It's very nicely documented, so detailed, but it is still high level. I can't say like I don't see my grandfather's name here. Right? So my grandfather also belonged to maybe my grandfather is not so famous person. He's not the progenitor of the universe or many dynasties, right? So only the top level people, the top level hierarchy, top level people are given here. If you see organization chart in IT company, only the top level people will be seen, right? There could be thousands of people working. They don't put everybody's name there, right? The high level diagram, right? So this is a high level diagram. So from here we can see all these sages, 7 sages, how they progenited this entire universe. Okay, so the takeaway message from the shloka is, it is through Brahma, through sages, through Manus, everything get manifested. Krishna is saying it is his vibhuti. If Brahma is able to function, 7 sages is able to function, entire universe is able to function, it is because of his vibhutis, his opulence. He's the one who is empowering them. He's the one who is making them function. Okay, so life lesson: knowing and appreciating the source of all sources instills devotion. The purpose Krishna is saying, not to boast about himself, but is when we gain the knowledge what God is or who God is, who can be God, we truly appreciate the God and we truly love the God. That is the whole purpose Krishna is teaching this. Okay, I'll ask someone to read this 7th verse.
Text 7. Accepting Krishna's powers leads to surrender. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvatah so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Thank you, Baba. So Krishna is saying the same point here again, that if a person truly love God, to develop unalloyed devotion to the God, it's not so easy. It's not so easy, but it is possible when a person truly understands who God is, what God is doing to me, entire existence. Krishna spoke about many things. When we truly appreciate God, the love towards the God naturally manifest. Krishna is saying, when we convinced about these opulence of the Lord, such a person engages in unalloyed devotion service. Natural love towards the God will manifest when a person truly understands the opulence of the God. It's not so easy, right? So in our daily life, we don't even think about like what and all God is doing. What and all God is doing many things for us to function. See? So Krishna is the source, shelter, and summit of everything. Okay, so now we'll move on to the other section of Bhagavad Gita. This is the second section of the 10th chapter. Okay, these slokas are very important. The acharyas, the saintly people, says that these shlokas from 8 to 11 conveys the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So what Krishna spoke about his opulences in previous verses, that the emotions, the intelligence or happiness, various emotions, everything coming from the God, manifested from the God, manifest from the God, and not just that, entire cosmic existence functions because of the presence of God, the Brahma, original creator, everything, everybody who is able to function is because of the presence of God. And Krishna is saying, if a person, in previous verse also Krishna said, if a person truly understands that aspect of the God, truly appreciates the God and loves the God. And Krishna is saying how a person worships the Lord with that understanding of Krishna's opulence. I repeat, if a person has the understanding about the opulence of the Lord, how he gets devoted to the Lord, Krishna speaks in this section. So what the devotees do, Krishna? Okay, cultivating knowledge. When they cultivate the knowledge about the God, understanding the glories and greatness of the Lord, they truly take shelter of the Lord. Okay, and wholeheartedly worships the Lord. And not just that, how they wholeheartedly worship the Lord by offering their entire existence, their mind, their body, their words, their actions, everything they surrender, and they're totally absorbed in God consciousness. So what happens to that devotee who is practicing this devotional service unto the Lord? Krishna says that. Krishna is saying this, he gives the right intelligence. If a person is in the beginning stage, is struggling, Krishna puts him in the right path. If he's practicing, Krishna makes him to advance. He gives the right knowledge, buddhi yoga, right knowledge for him to progress and attain the God. And Krishna also says in another verse, in verse number 11, that God, Krishna, resides as Paramatma in the heart of everybody. That is a fact. In everybody's heart, there is God. In this body, subtle body, we have a gross body, there is a subtle body, there is a soul, and there is also a God within us. It is because of God we are functioning. And the same God who resides as Paramatma in our hearts, he removes all the darkness, he removes all the sins from our heart, cleanses us. Krishna himself gives example like a lamp. When the lamp is lit, all the darkness is gone. When the Bhagavan lits our consciousness with spiritual enlightenment, all our darkness of ignorance is gone, all our sins are burnt. So one can clearly understand the God. Okay, so we'll see that in this 8 to 11 verses. The last someone to read, these are beautiful verses.
Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Mattas sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me and operates due to me. Iti matva bhajante mam. Those who know this engage in my devotional service. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Such wise people lovingly worship me with their hearts.
Thank you, Babu. So I'll recite this verse. It's a beautiful verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bodha bhava samanvitaha. Very beautiful verse. Here Krishna is saying, who can worship Lord with true loving emotions? True loving emotions. Who can do that? If a person truly accepts the God, if a person has clear understanding what God is doing to me, how God is very integral part of my life, such a person truly appreciates the God, truly takes the shelter of the God, and worships the Lord, appreciates the Lord, sings the glories of the Lord with emotions, loving emotions. Bhuda bhava. Bhava means like emotions. Samanvita, he gets connected to the Lord with true emotions. Emotions, what kind of emotions? If you see the great devotees of the Lord, they cry, tears flow from their eyes. That's how they get deeply connected towards the Lord. When they watch Ramayana, if Lord Rama is going in some difficulties or some situations, these devotees started crying, putting themselves into the situation, right? That's how they get deeply connected to the Supreme Lord. Again, who? If a person truly appreciates the God and what God is doing to us in the entire existence, right? So we'll go and analyze one by one. Aham means I, Sarvasya Prabhava. Prabhava means origin, source, origin of everything. In this world, we also say like, I am the origin of my child. I'm the origin of my child. I planted a tree. I'm the origin of tree. This tree belongs to me. I bought this house. I'm this owner of this house. This belongs to me. Krishna is saying that's all good, but I am the ultimate source. I'm the ultimate origin of everything you think of. Everything you think of. I'm Sarvasya Prabhu. Prabhu. He's the origin of everything. He's the original seed of everything. And Krishna is saying all the spiritual and material worlds, everything, everything comes, the entire cosmic existence, whatever we see in this world is the origin. But if we think it is because of me, I'm getting attached, right? That is a consciousness, right? If I say like, I build this entire organization, I did this entire organization, I did all this work, project work, look at me, right? Uh, the soul, Atma, falsely thinking it is his abilities, he did it, he built it, he's the origin of everything, right? And he's getting proud or is getting attached and is getting into all the difficulties of life. But if a person has this understanding, it is God, it is God, it is through God, everything is happening, everything is functioning, then one can truly appreciate the God. Am Sarvasya Prabhavo, God is the origin of everything. Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Pravartate means two meanings is, one meaning is emanates, that we already covered, entire cosmic existence emanated from God. Other meaning of Pravartate is function, act. Pravartane, Pravartana, Pravartate, right? If someone is able to act, it is because of the Supreme Lord. Brahma is able to create, it is because of Supreme Lord who is residing as Paramatma in the heart of Brahma, making the entire universe to manifest. Even if you see the seven sages who progenited, it is God's energies, God's power only. I'm able to sit and walk and talk. It is because of Supreme Lord only, right? That means like I'm a robot. Am I just a puppet? He's just pulling some threads here and there and making me function. And no. He's making us function through Prakriti, right? He's making us function. It is God. We always say, right? Even the blade of grass cannot move without the will of the God, right? Even I cannot function without the presence of God, Brahman, right? Absolute truth, right? And at the same time, God never intervenes in our free will or choices. Okay, I may have a desire to hit someone. The ability to hit is coming from the God. But it is my bad desire to create a bad through others, right? So I need to go through the consequences. But what God is doing, He's sanctioning. He's making me to function. So another important point is the soul, the body, can body function by itself? No. It's just a dull matter. There is a soul. It is because of soul, body is able to function. Simple. Can a soul and body can function by themselves? Answer is no. Krishna talks about this in 18th chapter. He gives more detail, right? There are 5 doers for us to function. There are 5 doers for us to function, right? Krishna says, even Atma cannot function. It is because of God. Atma can function. The body can function. We can talk and we can do all these things. Krishna speaks in 18th chapter. Okay, we'll wait for that. It is more technical and more detailed, right? So pravartate, function, act, everything, whatever we do, it is because of God. Okay, so one cannot claim that it is because of my skills I did this. It is because of my intellectual abilities I did this. Sometimes we see someone is highly intellect, someone is successful in his career, we get envious of that person. We think that that person is so great. Just bring God. If you bring God in picture, it is so simple, right? If a person is great, the great abilities, grateful abilities, great abilities, it's coming from God. It is God who is the one who is empowering that person, right? When I bring God in picture, I'm not envious of the person. I don't hate the person. I appreciate the God. Wow, God, you are so great. You are so great. You're making that person to function like a great being, right? It could be a cricket player or a movie star or political star or whatever, right? So the idea is to see the vibhutis of the Lord. That's what Krishna is saying, the vibhutis of the Lord. If a person is able to function, all these are vibhutis of the Lord, right? When we see that through that consciousness and live in this entire world, we develop love towards the God. We naturally appreciate the God in all our dealings, everyday dealings, doing our office work, family work, any work, anything we see, any attractive things we see, anything is greatly functioning, anyone is greatly functioning, we appreciate the Lord. Okay, it's just like a change of mindset with some proper education, right? Right? There is a thing. Such a person, if he sees everything in connection with the Lord, who clearly understands how everything is functioning, so such a person, he takes bhajana kriya. Matva bhajante mam. He takes a practice of devotional service. He worships the Lord. How he worships? In the beginning, he may worship without emotions, but when this worship or when his devotional service get intensified, his loving emotions will also get intensified. He may he may chant with one time Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, just to instill bhakti. But when he does repeatedly again and again, like chanting the holy names of the Lord, listening about the Lord, and that's what Krishna is going to say in next verse, right? in verse number 9, Krishna goes in detailed explanations of this, what a devotee do to develop bhakti. Okay, so when the bhakti, devotion towards the Lord intensified, he developed natural loving emotions to the Lord. He is emotionally connected to the Lord. So that is verse number 8. So verse number 9, Krishna talks about what devotees do. They talk to each other, they enlighten each other, they converse about each other, about the God, and they experience a great bliss and happiness. Okay, so we'll see that in next session, and I'll give more explanations on this one. Okay, I thought of telling a story, but that story is in the 9th verse, so we did not reach the 9th verse. So maybe in the next session, we'll go in detail and we'll learn about the story and how it relates to us. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you all for attending this session. If you have any questions, thoughts, and sharings, please feel free to share. Thank you, Hare Krishna.